people, welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mod, and today guys, as you can see, we've got the Delorean out. So today we are going to do stage or issue 99 of Build the Back to the Future Delorean, and we're going to be finishing off the flux bands on the front. So yeah, it's going to look really nice after this is finished, because more or less, the front of the vehicle will actually be finished at the end of this issue. We've got a few bits of photo etch to put on, quite a few screws to put in as well. With the screws though, I have gone in previously and I've actually painted them, because I didn't like the idea of having the flux bands on and then horrible black screws really showing up on it. So I've gone in there and I've kind of just painted the screws a little bit, but you'll see that when we get over to the build table. But I'm really excited to this one because it really is one of the most pivotal parts of the vehicle. Next to the flux capacitor is the flux bands. It's what you see on the outside of the car when you can see it going back in time or forward in time or wherever it's going in time. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one today. So with all that said, let's get modelling. Okay guys, so here we go. So they're working on the power coil frame and grills. So we need to put in the power coil frame. This is it here. Now I'm working on this little side camera. We just need to pop this into the holes that are just down here. So just pop it into there. We need to make sure it lines up with the supports we've got all around the car, and then making sure it goes into the other side, as you can see. Okay, so this is where it next gets a little bit interesting. So we've actually got some little bits of photo etch here that we're going to be putting on the car. Now it's wanting us to start from this end first. No, sorry, this end first. Get it right. And we need part 499B. So 99B is this bottom one here, so I'm just going to take it off. Sometimes you might need to get pliers behind it or try and cut it off, but I'm just going to do the old rocking it method, just rocking it backwards and forwards. There we go, that's off. Okay, so we need to make sure we put this in the right way around because it's got a slight curve to it. I think it would be go, I don't think it'd go like that. Let's have a look. It doesn't really say. I think it goes with the downward curve up. So let's see. Okay, that's with the downward curve up. What about it with the downward curve on the bottom? I don't think that's going to line up. So downward curve up, I believe. Let me just see if we can see this a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's correct. Okay, so we've got different screws here on this one. So we've got APs and we've got IPs. So the first one it's asking is for 2 APs. So I'll just grab them. We're just going to put them. This is going to secure it into the bracket when it stops falling off. Okay. The question is trying to see what I'm doing here. Right, so that's nicely lined up. So it doesn't help when the screw keeps getting knocked off the screwdriver. Right, I've got that in nicely, not over tightening it. So that's one AP screw in. And then we'll go for the second. Not so bad once it's attached, it's just holding it while you try to do that. Okay, so that's 2 AP screws in there. Next to it we need 2 IP screws. So these are the smaller screws. They're just going to go into these 2 points just at the back. Again, it's just a case of, I think the hardest bit in this is lining the screws up. No, I don't want to go in. I'll just try a small screwdriver just to at least see if I can get these started. Right, that seems to have got it. So obviously now you get into the finishing touches of the car and you want it to be right. You want it to look okay. And one thing I've learned from this Delorean is it cannot be rushed. Okay, so they're nicely in. Okay, now it wants us to do the other side first. So we've done one side, let's move this across. This should be a bit easier for me to work on because it's facing me. So we'll just get the photo etch off. There's a bit off there, there's a bit off there. Okay, so that's just going to simply go on just as the other side did. Screw that both with 2 AP screws first of all, just like the other side. And what this should do is lock it all into place when it's done. Should. It really is. I mean, I know we've had all the problems we've had with this build, but it really is enjoyable to work on. It's just you get moments like this where things don't want to line up, and then they don't want to line up on the screwdriver because the screw keeps moving, so you're kind of fighting a battle. I have to go with a small one again. Come on. Come on. Grab it on the other side, please. There we go. Okay, that's 1 AP screw in. It shouldn't be too bad now to get the second one in because everything's lined up, but don't quote me on that. Okay, so that's the 2 AP screws in there. I need 2 IP screws. Oh, they've gone in nicely. Thank you, Mr. IP screws. That one's gone in even nicer. Lovely. Absolutely superb is that. Okay, so changing the page of the magazine. Okay, so we need our centre part next, which is the long bit on this. Okay, so that is literally gonna fit just like that. So what we need to do is, first of all, it's asking for 4, that's 4 AP screws, first of all. Okay, so I'm just going to try and line this up. I think the worst part of this is just lining it. Right, that one's in. Just going to put one underneath it quickly, just to keep it aligned. Oh, that one's gone in nice and easy now, you see. Okay, so that one in a bit tighter. Okay, there's 2 at this side here. Again, AP screws. I'm not too keen on how that bit's there sticking out. I'm just wondering if this would be a better fit the other way around. Let me just see. So it's just a little bit off. Would it be a better fit that way around? I'm going to go with it. Might as well try. Let's see if it's any better. They went in a lot easier for a start. That's gone in a bit better. There we go. I think that's gone in better. We next need 2 IP screws. They're going to go in the middle. Okay, so we've done that. Right, so what we need to do next is these bits here are going to come around and then we've got to basically get a screw in with that folded on top of it. And the screw choice on that one is AP. So I'm just getting an AP on my screwdriver because we're going to sort of squish this down into place, and I can see this being a bit of a nightmare to do. Plus the fact it's furthest away from me. So let me just bring it a bit closer and closer for you guys to see. Use the right screwdriver. Keep knocking one of these. Just doing my head in a bit. The problem is when you paint screws, you put in paint over the steel, so it's not as easily to be magnetised as you would do. Now I definitely think now I've got that on the wrong way around because it's looking very strange. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop recording and switch these side ones around. So I'll be back in a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so I'm back. So I've managed to get them all on. I had actually got them on the right way. Only when I looked at it again, I figured out I had put them the right way around. I'm not too happy about that little bit there. I might need to do some bit of work on that one. Because that's just looking a little bit sticky out. But if I switch her on, that is what we are looking like on them. Definitely a modification that needed to be done. Does that EL rope wire. Well, that is what we're looking at, and that is this stage and issue complete, guys. So that is stage 99 complete. Well guys, that's it for the Delorean today. Thanks for tuning in. I will have a look at that flux band just to see if I can get it looking the way I want it to do. I do like to sort of fiddle with the models after filming and recording and stuff, just to get it that look. I did actually do it with the Delorean because the EL rope wire was a little bit bent and just wasn't looking a nice straight line. So I really wanted to correct that because I did see some other people's Deloreans and it was a little bit wonky, and I just thought, I can't live with that being like that on mine, so I'd have to have mine straight. But that's just my my way of thinking on things and the way I want things to look. But anyway, if you like this video, please could you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of any future videos. But as for always guys, stay safe and bye for now.